So I think you're not giving yourself enough credit for the competitive nature in you from what I hear from Kupono
No.
and everyone. So you got to explain a little bit about, when the lights are on and, you're competing and you're in these situations. I know that's kind of what drives you to perform your best, right? And I will just preface this by Kupono did mention one time that I think Hawaii was playing at SC. I don't know if it was at
Oh yeah,
SC.
I know where this is
And
going.
then some of the Kupono's teammates were chirping at you a little bit, and Kupono was like, "You guys better tone it down. You're gonna get you going to another level." But anyway, what were some of the things thinking about not only that one practice, but other experiences too, where the competitiveness in you just kind of elevated your game even further?
I think a lot of it reflects on finding a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're competitive, when you're solely focused on finding a way to win, you're not worried about what people are thinking of you, or you're not worried about technical things even.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get outside myself when I'm competing, and that helps me play better. That helps my technique. That helps, you're fluid, you're smooth,
Mm-hmm.
and your mind is clear. And you have one goal, and it's to win. And so for me, when I get into sometimes waking me up because I'm thinking about different things might be
Yes.
a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And just to clarify, nobody was talking to me. It was talking to someone else, and I
Got it.
took more exception to that.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna come after somebody on my team, come after the big dogs. Don't come
Yeah.
after the little, you know. But for me, when I get, and I have learned that that is a strength of mine over the years. As I've matured and as I've gone through my career, I've learned that that's a strength of mine, and that's a tool that I use to get back to competing, get back to see the game through my eyes. Don't, I'm not feeling the game with my hands. I'm seeing it through my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And once I'm there, I'm in attack mode. I'm aggressive. And those decisions are made naturally rather than, oh, well, maybe, this guy's struggling, but maybe, that blocker's really good. So who do I set here? And then all of a sudden the ball's on top of you and you
Yes.
don't know who you're setting.
Yes.
And then it's like, I don't care who gets the ball here. We're going to win this point.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's a ton of cerebral process and mental process that goes into decision-making on the court, but that's all done in preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that for me, like you touched on before, your preparation prepares you for the moment to then seize that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And when that opportunity presents itself, I'm not thinking at all. I'm competing.
That's super interesting to hear you explaining like that, because I can totally understand now when you get, because sometimes you're thinking too much of the fine details, technique, all of these other game time situations, right? And it almost like paralyzes you, right? Or makes you hesitate, right? And then you start
Mm-hmm.
to get in your head and it starts to snowball, right? But it sounds like when you just get kind of in the zone, right? Everything else is just natural. You're just flowing. And the reason why that's interesting is because for some other athletes, it could go the other way, right? If they start to get too competitive and they start to get emotional, right? The emotion sometimes, if you're not focusing, you're not thinking clearly, not fluid, right? That could backfire. But it's finding that sweet spot. And you hear it all the time in athletics when, someone's like in the zone, right? Because things are just flowing. You're doing what you're practicing, pretty much just executing all of the things that you prepared for. So that's really interesting to hear how that kind of fuels your game or makes it a lot more fluid, and you can actually play like how you know how to play.